Well, this week it's going to be the coldest since February this year, and it is just going to get colder and colder as the week goes on. And a lot of people tend to pull out those space heaters to keep warm.
Yeah, maybe they don't have central heating in their home, but this is a time you really have to be careful. Kristy Gerlett joins us from the Toledo Fire Station, one of the Toledo fire stations this morning. Kristy, we know firefighters usually warn us those space heaters can be dangerous when not used properly.
Yes, absolutely. They can be very dangerous. That's why I'm here with Sterling Ray to talk about all kinds of safety tips, do's and don'ts right here for the space heater.
Space heater, obviously, make sure it's serviceable, make sure it's plugged directly into the wall. We talked about that a little bit. We also want to make sure that there's nothing around it. When we talk about the heat that a space heater gives off, let's see if we can get temperature rise here, upwards about, there's 328 degrees that's putting off very close, and that's why we have that buffer zone.
So the question I have is, I know it's putting off a lot of heat, and it just gets hotter and hotter, right, as it stays plugged in. But how does it go from putting off heat to igniting something? Well,
there's radiant waves that come off those coils as well as some heat that the fan is pushing. But if it's by itself, we're going to use this paper just as a device to show. It's about 87 degrees. We heated it up earlier. As we put it close to that device, you can see it slowly coming up. And 110 degrees, we got it to 130 degrees earlier. And that's just in a short period of time, 2 or 3 minutes. If it's over a period of time, it starts to smolder, it could ignite. And then again, start the rest of the room on fire. So that's why we want that buffer.
I mean, it could get up, you said, to 300 and 350 degrees, right?
It can, again, depending on the device, depending on how close it is. And again, it doesn't mean that it's going to spontaneously combust, but we've seen where they've been in a room, space heater's been in a room, blankets or couches or something start to smolder, and within a few hours it gets to a point where it almost like a cigarette burn, where it starts to migrate out, it then ignites, and then the room becomes involved.
Okay, so make sure nothing is around it for about 3 to 4 feet, right?
Minimum.
Also, how you plug it into the wall is important.
Plugging it directly into the wall, we have some representations of power strips or smaller extension cords that were used that heated and actually caught fire. So we want to make sure that you're plugging them directly into a wall. That's the way they're designed, and not to use power strips or some type of extension cord.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time this morning. Reporting live in Toledo, Kristy Gerlett, WTOL 11 on Fox 36.